you for joining us for another update on MarkTwainZephyr.com, also our Facebook page at Mark Twain Zephyr. I'm Robert Taburn, Director of Passenger Development for the Wisconsin Great Northern Railroad, and I hope you're having a great weekend. It is a Sunday, December the 6th, 2020. And yes, we've come back from Kansas City where we were last week, and we are back here at the railroad. There is the Mark Twain Zephyr behind me, where we have a couple updates for you. We'll first turn it over to Nick, our operations manager up here at the railroad, who's going to talk about some of the track work that has been going on in the last couple of weeks, which will allow better positioning and better movement of the Mark Twain Zephyr, as well as all of our other trains. Nick?
Hey guys, Nick Turinetti. I'm the operations manager for the Wisconsin Great Northern Railroad. For the moment, I think we mentioned before, I'm kind of the temporary track foreman around here too. So I can give you guys a little bit of an update on our project to relocate tracks between Trigo and our depot here at Daily Lake Road.
So as you can probably see, we've managed to get our gravel shaker up onto a pair of trucks, and we've got a couple little push carts along with it as well, one of which is holding a conveyor so that what's sorted out of the gravel shaker can actually be deposited off the right-of-way. And then the next cart has a generator. It's a cat generator that puts out 480 volt power, which powers everything else. And then it's all pulled around by our 45 ton. So, essentially, how this works is Jesse, who's our heavy equipment operator, has graded where the track used to be, which is on the west side of the right-of-way, several times. So we've scraped up all of the usable ballast that used to be under the tracks before we moved them into a little embankment next to the current tracks. And then what we do is he runs his tread hoe, will scoop up a bucket full of ballast, deposits it in the top. There are 3/4 inch screens up on the top, and basically the whole thing shakes. And what that does is it shakes out the fines, which, fines kind of will retain liquid and other dampness, and that rots your tires a lot faster. Having clean ballast extends the life of your tires and makes everything lock together a bit better. So those 3/4 inch grates sort out everything smaller, falls out underneath, goes through a belt conveyor and is deposited on the side conveyor and goes out over the side of the embankment, depending on where we are. And then the rest of it rolls down off the top and is deposited in between the rails. And my job in all this is I'm the person who's actually watching how much ballast falls in between the rails. And then Linton and I, who's the engineer, use hand signals to basically, once we get enough ballast in one spot, I'll give him a hand signal to go forward, and he usually pulls far enough ahead that we get a nice mound in between the rails, and I'll stop him. And it's all kind of coordinated between Jesse loading the shaker, me keeping an eye on when it is at the right height, and then it moving Linton to make sure it's all not getting too heavy in any one particular spot. It's kind of interesting because a lot of it involves us not actually looking at one another. I'll actually send him a message just based on what I see and assume that he sees me and stops. A lot of it's auditory too, because you can kind of hear in the shaker when you're getting close to the end of one scoop and you need to stop so that you don't have a bare patch. And depending on where we've been on the right of way, sometimes about half of his scoop is fines, is waste, stuff we can't use. So
It's like Raisin Bran, 2 scoops. Yeah, sorry, I had to throw that in there.
2 scoops of junk. Yeah. So essentially, where it's worked out to is like every scoop he puts in there is enough ballast for about 3 ties.
Okay.
So he scoops, we drop 3 ties, move forward, drop 3 ties, move forward, and today we just passed the halfway point. We're over a mile into it. We got about a little under a mile to go on the north side, and then a little over half a mile on the south side.
So total about 2.5.
About 2.5 miles, and right now it's kind of a race against the weather so that we don't wind up with too much freezing.
Yeah. How does the whole with the ballast and moving the track? How does that benefit the Mark Twain Zephyr project specifically?
Well, in particular, it's a benefit to the whole operation because we eliminate a whole bunch of grade crossings or crossings with the trail that used to exist. With all the plans we have for expansion and new trackage, we'd have wound up with something like 7 grade crossings in a 2-mile stretch, and now we only have 1, which is south of the area that we operate in. So it improves safety. Mark Twain Zephyr is going to basically run over 2 miles of brand new track, which to start off with, and that was stuff that the track had not had a whole lot of maintenance simply because Greg knew, we knew this was going to happen. So rather than throw a whole lot of work into it, anticipating the move was going to happen, we've done enough to make sure it was safe. And more to the point, eventually, the goal is to have the Mark Twain Zephyr run forward for its entire for the entire trip you take on it. So doing this is one of the first steps to eliminating shoving move for half of the ride.
Well, very cool, because we see Bob and Phil and Beverly all working on the train, and sometimes I think some of the people watching our segment forgets there's also you guys doing the track work.
Yeah.
And well, here it is. It's the first week of December here already. What are you guys gonna then, once this track work is done, are you guys for the winter gonna move on to working on the Mark Twain Zephyr itself, or what's the kind of tentative plans for that?
Tentative plans, as I understand it, some of us are going to go and start helping Bob and Phil with interior work and wiring and various stuff like that.
Okay.
I'm probably going to wind up working on the trucks in part.
Oh, cool.
So
Looking forward to that.
It's going to be a learning experience, just like laying track was a learning experience. So it'll be interesting. It's something I haven't done before.
All hands on deck for the Mark Twain Zephyr.
Definitely.
All right. Thanks, Nick. We'll check back with you in a few weeks.
Cool. Catch you later, guys.
All right. Thanks a lot, Nick. Appreciate that. For our second up part of our update today, we'll send it to Bob, who is in the Tom Sawyer, who's now put up a lot of the new ceiling panels and is actually starting on some of the electrical and the heating work. Bob? So what do we have going on here? It looks like we've
finished off the ceiling.
So these are those boards, I think, 2 weeks ago we were putting them in.
We got all the way up to the end here.
Okay.
Finish that off, and this is all new up
Were
here.
these hard to do? Because those look really
It
tricky.
took a little bit, a lot of little cuts here and there to slowly get them to fit. There's stainless steel trim that goes over all of the seams.
Oh, okay. Do you do that by hand then, or how do you?
Yeah, that's all done by hand.
Is that like the next step then, kind of this, or are you guys gonna wait till a bit?
It all gets all of the holes get filled. It gets primed and painted first.
Okay.
This is the duct.
I noticed that. That was what was falling down on you in the other.
That's what we were.
That was 2 weeks ago, I think. Was
all of the rotted wood and all of the insulation and.
So not only did you clean that out, you totally filled it in with a brand new ceiling.
It's painted all throughout in there with anti-mildew, mildew-resistant paint, and so the air will be non-toxic.
And these are going to be where the new lights are going to go?
Three on this end and 4 on the other end.
Okay. Are you still going to put the lights around the windows at all?
There'll be lighting up in here too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We're just sealing that up there because this weekend I'm going to figure out what we're going to make for windowsills.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I guess we don't have windowsills.
Windowsills, and this will be framed in up here because it'll have blinds in it.
Is that what we decided? Blinds?
Yeah, except for the
breaking news. Look at that. Do we have the breaking news? So it's going to be blinds instead of drapes.
Well, he was thinking of blinds.
Okay. We've had a lot of people ask us what we were going to...
Well, it's just, I would think the blinds are less maintenance once they're in.
And they've actually changed over the years. Like I think on the Denver Zephyr, they started out with some types of shades, and then it went to blinds or something like that. So it's changed over the years. The Wisconsin Zephyr. All right, lots of cheese and brats on there. Oh, there's Phil. Hi. We missed you 2 weeks ago. All right. So these are the areas here that are these the light fixtures? Possibly.
Yes, that will be one of the light fixtures.
So that's what they're going to look like in the Tom Sawyer.
It's got a good Art Deco look to it.
Okay. So then you said 3 apiece and 3 of the 1, 2, 3. Okay. Boy, look at that. I tell you, every time I come on here, it's like a world of progress in just a week, you guys. So then this is where 2 weeks ago the ceiling was falling down. Oh, there's Stefan. Every time I see Stefan, I want more of the ceiling to fall down on him.
He was here, weren't you?
He was. That's what I was. So the last 2 weeks, you not only
there was a leak up there. It had leaked, and over the years, everything was rotten to the wood, and we did the same thing. We replaced it all with new, painted it all with mildew resistant.
And you can do all that in just 2 weeks.
Yes, we did.
Wow. Okay.
Yes,
Just impressive.
And then we got the heat in here.
Oh.
It works too.
Oh yeah, it works well.
So this is the so they're basically baseboards, like
baseboard heats. You got to get the heat in there because all of the holes have to get filled in the wall. We'll prime them and paint them.
Okay.
And then they're just going to get screwed to the walls where they're at.
Wow.
There'll be an outlet between each one, like we've done in all the other cars with a box between them. To use
these
as
are
a chase for the wire.
permanent here. What we're looking at.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're just going to be screwed up to the wall instead of on the little feet.
Oh, okay. And you have 1, 2, so 3 per side. So
It
6.
makes more than adequate heat for this car.
Did you roast yourself a little bit there,
Yes,
Bob?
we did.
Oh, okay.
It's close to Christmas. We had chestnuts on the open fire.
Okay. We don't like open fire. And were these the 2 pieces? Are these what you carved out of the back?
These are the 2 pieces
That we saw just back there.
Yep.
Okay. Wow, very cool.
Started
How many
with
tries?
Actually, we made one template.
Okay.
And then we cut it large, and we whittled it down to what we needed.
Uh-huh.
And then when we had the one done for the right side, we flipped it over, cut it a little larger for the left side, and whittled it down to exactly what we needed it for.
Perfect. And then, well, Stefan's scraping the paint over here.
Actually, wire brushing.
Oh, you're wire brushing the metal. So you're just kind of shining up the...
That's how he cleans his toothbrushes.
Does he? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Crest works wonders.
I've always been an AIM kind of guy. All right. So...
Got some electricity
More
running
electrical.
here with some outlets.
Okay. Wow.
And that's about it. Hopefully next week you'll see the windows trimmed out.
Is that the plan?
All this will be painted, primed and painted.
All by next week.
Don't know.
Well, we'll find out next weekend when we check back with you, Bob. All right. Thanks so much, Bob, and we'll check back with you next weekend, see what you got going on.
What I got going on.
All right. Thanks a lot, Bob, and that wraps it up for our update here on MarkTwainZephyr.com and also our Facebook page at Mark Twain Zephyr. I like to point this shot out. We moved the cars around a few days ago, and I think you have the best of the Burlington here with a shovel nose Zephyr. And then over here, that is our former Santa Fe high-level lounge car. Only 6 of these cars ever built, and one of them is here and running as our cheese and wine train at the Wisconsin Great Northern. So I like to say now we have the best of the Burlington and the Santa Fe. So hopefully when we reopen passenger service on May 1st, you can come up and check both of these out. For Wisconsin Great Northern Railroad, I'm Robert Tabor, and we'll see you back next weekend with yet another update.